Hello, today is May 5th. We're going to be looking at some data regarding COVID-19 and the flu. First one here, set up a baseline for some flu data. As we have Flu Interactive by the CDC, we're looking at positive test cases reported to the CDC from the Public Health Laboratories National Summary, 2019-2020 season, ending April 25th. That's as far as this data goes. Now you can see that there's a gradual increase, and there's supposed to be a gradual decrease, which I'll show you in previous years, but here, it's going sharp off. You can see that it's not gradual. It's not tapering off. It's just boom, boom, and then basically nothing, just right away. So I'll show you why that's not normal. Go to 2018, 2019. You can see gradual increase, the peak, it comes down, and then it tapers off. It doesn't go to zero. It doesn't go to near zero. Remember how it was super thin in the other graph? So there was a sharp increase and a sharp decrease, but it goes gradual. It goes a sharp decrease and then it starts to go gradually decline. Right? So in the current year, there's an increase and then a sharp decrease, but it doesn't go gradually out. It just essentially stops. Like, this is nothing, right? We're on 500s. This is maybe a few dozen, right? We're looking 33 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3. You know, that's like around 40. Around 40. Here there's 28. So it's between 20 to 40. It's almost non-existent. 2018. See, it's gradual. There's still cases. These are close to like 80, I'm guessing 90, 100, probably around 100. Yeah, it'd be a fifth of the 500, so that looks like it's about a fifth. So it's around 100. See, it goes sharp decline, then gradual. Take a look at 2017. Gradual, sharp incline, sharp decline after the peak, and then gradual tapering off. And you're going to get to like nothing maybe around week 20, right? Go back to 2018, 2019, see 20. So last season was a bit longer. It wasn't as high. It was like around 3,000 the peak, but 2 years ago it went up to 4,500. And then it tapered off a lot more once it got to week 20. It wasn't as high. And we look at 2016, 2017, again, gradual incline, then it goes sharp incline, sharp decline, gradual decline, right? Gradual, sharp, sharp, gradual, right? And we can keep going back. It's gradual, sharp, sharp, gradual. I'll do this one last there. I can keep going back, but this is 2014, 2015. Gradual, sharp, sharp, gradual. So some years have more gradual decline. And we'll take a look at this one. So this one is still in the hundreds by the 20th week. Go here. There's still quite a lot of cases on the 20th. Still, it's always a gradual decline. See, it's like a slope. Here's the slope. Here's the slope. Here's the slope. See, there's always a slope. The intensity might shift at the peak, might be over here, might be over here. You know, in different years it's not always on week 10. It goes between 1 and 10 is where the peaks are usually. Now we look at this year. So again, between week 1 and 10, fine. And we have a gradual incline. And it's pretty much always gradual, okay. And then we start to see it goes from gradual decline to sharp decline to basically nothing. Now, this drop off, why is it happening? Less people are having the flu? Okay. That could be. Apparently no one's having the flu this year, right? Let's look between week 10 and 17. Right, so I'm going to use week 12 as a comparison for the COVID, because we don't have the week data that I'm looking at. We have dates. But just quickly, we can go back and look at the previous years and see between week 10 and 17. See, there's always cases, right? Every year. 10 to 20, always cases. Look at how many there are. Every year. 10 to 20, always cases. Gradual decline. 10 to 20. Again, I'll even do one last one. Here, see? That's how it always happens. Now we go back to this year. It doesn't even start sharp. It like goes gradual, then goes sharp, and then just like pretty much non-existent. So, and this is between 10, 20 would be over here. We're not even up to 20. Week 17 of the year is April 20th to 26th, exactly as they're reporting for the date. This is reported as up to the 25th. So there's still 3 more weeks, but nothing's going to change in those 3 weeks. We're not going to just see data appear, right? These are cases being reported, just like last year and all the years before it. There were cases being reported, and they're being recorded and reported. Here we have nothing. It just dies off. So look around week 12 and 13, right? It's like, this is when it starts to really like drop off. Week 12, and then 13. And starting from 14 onwards, there's like nothing there. 14, 15, 16, 17, nothing. Now, take a look at the COVID cases. Here's again the CDC, coronavirus disease, cases in the US. You scroll down. New cases by day. Again, we're going to look at week 12 and week 13, right? So the 16th to the 22nd, the 23rd to the 29th. That's this and this, 12 and 13. So the 16th to the 22nd, right? 16th, 22nd, 23rd, 29th. The 16th to the 22nd, oh look, coronavirus cases start to increase. The 23rd to the 30th. Well, 29th. The 23rd to the 29th. Oh look, they keep increasing. Look at that. So we start having coronavirus cases show up pretty much on this graph, Starting from the 10th, they're just a blip. And then on week 12, starting on the 16th around here, well, that's the 15th, but we'll say the 17th. This is when they're more noticeable. Boom. Here come the cases, right? Here we go. Here's the study, the gradual incline that we normally have with the flu. So look at when the gradual incline of coronavirus cases start. The 17th. and that's week 12. So coronavirus cases start here. So what happens is coronavirus goes up, and what happens inversely, it's almost like it's proportional, right? There's more of these and less of these, until eventually there's more COVID cases, and then there's no flu cases being reported. None. Nothing's being reported, basically. Basically nothing. Everything's about COVID. So, is this just, oh, there's no flu cases? Or is it actually that no one's reporting them, even though there are flu cases? Or is it even that coronavirus cases are being attributed to actual flu cases? Because remember, this has never happened before. You look at any date, 10 to 20, there's always a gradual decline. There's thousands per week, right? Thousands. From week 12 to 20. Here there's only hundreds, but there's still hundreds up to week 20. And we're only at week... what are we at now? What's 20? So right now we're at week 19, okay? Week 19. And it's still always super high. Now, is it just coincidence that the flu cases are just magically lowered and went to virtually none, and the coronavirus's cases increased drastically? Or is it that the doctors and whatnot have been reporting flu cases as coronavirus cases? Again, you can go look it all up, go back to any year you want. Between week 10 and 20, there's always a lot of cases, there's always a gradual decline. It never just sharply declines and basically stops like this. It never ever happens. So people are not getting the flu? Maybe. Or maybe it's that instead of reporting influenza, they're not even testing for it. And they're just, like the CDC says in their guidelines, it's presumed or assumed COVID-19 cases. Well, you just slap on the COVID-19 label onto someone and you just report them as a COVID-19. Even if they're not COVID-19. Because you don't know, because you're just assuming it and presuming it. Like they mention, oh, it is on this page. You go down to, you go here to about. Or what do they say for about? Probable case or death is defined by one of the following. Meeting clinical criteria. Okay, so whatever criteria you have fever, coughing, nose, congestion, breathing difficulty. So all these are up to the judgment of the medical establishment, the medical personnel, to decide. Does it meet clinical criteria and epidemiological evidence with no confirmatory laboratory testing? So no testing. Does it meet epidemiological evidence and clinical criteria? Okay, then they slap COVID-19 on it. Meeting presumptive laboratory evidence. So presumptive, presuming, not confirmed, presumptive. And either clinical criteria or epidemiological evidence. Or does it meet vital records criteria? I don't know what that means. With no confirmatory laboratory testing performed. So none of these have confirmatory laboratory testing as a criteria. Only this one is presumptive, so it's presumed. Caused or is assumed to have caused. We get probable or presumed. Are these cases? that we're seeing? Over here. No. Probable or presumed? Are they actually COVID? Or were they actually influenza, since influenza has pretty much fallen off the face of reporting any cases? Very interesting. I think it looks very suspicious, and I don't know if we'll ever be able to know if a lot of these were just influenza. People die from influenza every year. It was 34,000 last year and 60-something thousand the year before. And look at where we're at for COVID deaths. So, are these all COVID deaths? I don't think they're all COVID deaths, especially with the presumed or assumed criteria where they don't have any lab testing, if even the lab testing is accurate. And we have this data that shows influenza reports of basically non-existent compared to all previous years. There isn't the same gradual pattern of decline. It just sharply declines and stops. There's no sharp and then gradual. And here we just have the cases are being picked up. Instead of being influenza cases, we're seeing just COVID cases. So that's what I think is happening. And I'll let you decide. You can go look up the data. I'll put the links in, and you can check it out yourself and see, verify the information, and maybe you have another suggestion, but I think it's very suspicious that it didn't decline off, and we're basically seeing nothing right at the same time that COVID starts up is when influenza dies away. And we're not seeing any of the same patterns as the years before, the decline from week 10 to 20. Which is here, up to here. It's very, very suspicious. Very suspicious. See, we're in this is week 19 in here. This is 18. Anyways, you can look it all up yourself and verify. It's very suspicious, and it's very indicative to me, according to the data, that a lot of these are influenza, and therefore a lot of these deaths are influenza. And it's more bad data in the whole COVID fear, hype, panic, fiasco that we have going on in our society. So let me know what you think. Have a good one. Peace.